What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me this week for another video. This week we're going to be talking about being burned. So if you're interested to find out more, please stay tuned. So let's get into it, huh? All right, so like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be talking about being burned. And when I say being burned, I mean like relationship wise, okay? So whether it's a friendship, a significant other, a parent and child, a work relationship, boss and employee, whatever the case may be, okay? Being burned, somebody that's, say, stabbed you in the back, that either promised you something and did not deliver on this promise, or any likes of that, okay? Did not say what they meant and actually did the opposite, and really kind of showed their true colors, and it was really quite appalling and disturbing. So to give you a more realistic and bring it close to home, I'm gonna give you an example of kind of like how I've been burned, a situation that happened. So back when I was going to the community college for the automotive degree that I was studying, I met this person in this class that was taking the classes along with me, and I was kind of telling him my dreams and aspirations for after I graduate and finish this program. I wanted to eventually start my own business, my own automotive business, have like a franchise of different shops and everything. But in the immediate, like, short term, my goal was I wanted to get a mobile work van and kind of start a mobile side business and kind of, go to people's either places of business or residence and work on their cars, kind of get my name out there and build my clientele. When I asked him what he wanted to do, this was before I told him what mine were, he really didn't have an idea of what he wanted to do. He didn't know if he wanted to work at a shop, if he wanted to kind of do that, have his own shop, or anything like that, okay? Then when I told him about my ideas and aspirations, he was like, "Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good." And fast forward, he kind of he started off at a shop, and then he kind of got his own work van, kind of started his own side business, and kind of built up a clientele, and then started renting buildings and having his own business. Looking back, he kind of pulled snippets of kind of what I wanted to do, which is, it's not a bad thing. To kind of be, I guess, inspired or driven by somebody else's ideas, I guess, is, that's kind of flattering in a sense, that it sounded good to somebody else that they kind of did that. But long story short, after pestering me for a while to come work with him, he had a shop in one city, and he moved his shop many different times, but moved his shop to the city that I lived in. So I finally said yes, but I was saying no for the longest period of time, because I said, hey, we're friends, and if we go into business together and it doesn't work out, there goes our friendship. And he said, that won't happen. That won't happen. We had a verbal agreement on how much he was going to pay me and all of this stuff. Like, he made some other promises as well. If my clientele follows me to this city, then I will up your pay after a certain amount of time. I promised him that I was going to stay there for 9 months, and none of that stuff happened. He didn't pay me anywhere close to what he promised to pay me, okay? And I stayed there for 9 months because that was my promise. That's what I agreed to. even though he didn't hold up his end of the agreement. And needless to say, our friendship is no longer. We don't really speak anymore. After years have gone by, he reached out again, and he was talking to me for a little bit, and he said that he's changed and he's a different person, and he wanted to do right by me, and he wanted to pay me. So he had quite a bit of debt that he owes me, the back money that he's just never paid me. And I met up with him. I wanted to see if he really kind of changed, to kind of gauge a barometer, sort of like, to see if what he was saying actually kind of matched up with what it kind of like looked like. And I mean, I didn't really see much change, but I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? I was like, okay, so he's saying he wants to change. Okay, fine. I'm going to take that step and try to believe him, believe in what he's saying. And again, he fell short. Okay, he didn't. He paid me like once, and it was like, a small amount, because he was trying to do a payment plan, because he owes me quite a bit. But that was it. After that, it just kind of fizzled out as well, and it was just excuse after excuse after excuse of why he can't. And so we again stopped talking, because I don't need to do this again. I don't need to rehash and re-pester him about this stuff. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time. It's not worth his. Obviously, that's not a priority to him. So it's okay. And I'm not hurting for that money. It's more principle based of, when you owe somebody something, try to keep your promises and follow through on it. But I say all of that to say that I've been burned, okay? So there's no more friendship, and it fizzled out. Now, I could come from the point of view or the outlook of being jaded. Now, every time I encounter somebody and they promise me something, I try to think of their ulterior motive. Are they being truthful? Are what they telling me real? Like, how do I know that this person's not going to stab me in the back, right? And isn't this what we do as a people? We get burned by somebody, one of these relationships. And now we go into these other relationships, these other encounters like this. Like we keep everybody at an arm's length, and we look at, what are you hiding? What are you not telling me? What is the ulterior motive behind why you're talking to me? You just can't be that nice. There's got to be something else hidden and underlying behind all of that. And quite frankly, that's a toxic way to look at people and potential relationships, professional or personal or relational, okay? It's a toxic way to go into a relationship, looking at how they could trip up and disappoint you. Because if we're being honest, okay, you've been burned before, but you don't have to sit near the fire, okay? You can get up and walk away. You don't have to be jaded. You don't have to look at every future person that you come in contact with, every future relationship or potential relationship, like there's an ulterior motive. If they're telling you something and they're promising you something, guess what? Take it at that, okay? If they're promising you that they're going to be there and, okay, they're going to do this, or, whatever the case is, that they're going to show up for you, okay? Believe them until they give you a reason not to. Now, please don't misunderstand me. When I say believe them, I don't mean to be careless, okay? You can still be cautious, okay? You can still be cautious, but you don't have to look at it with a, they're not being truthful. I don't know if I really trust them. Okay? You don't have to look at it and be jaded all the time. That is a very toxic way to live. It is not fun. It takes up a lot of brain space, okay, to hold on to this hurt that has been done to you in the past, and carry that baggage on to each potential interaction or relationship in the future. I mean, I could very well take my jadedness from that situation I explained to you into every single future friendship or relationship, and think about, well, are what they promising me, or what they telling me really truthful? I don't know. I have to wait and see, you know? I can't come at it from that viewpoint because guess what? God knows their heart. God knows what they're promising, right? And whether or not they're going to follow through or not. I don't. And it's not my job to search their motives and intentions and figure out whether or not they're lying or telling the truth. It's not my job to play detective. Okay? My job is to befriend them, okay? Or talk to them with this clear sense, this clear platform with no hidden agenda. And I just pray over them. Pray about this potential relationship. You know, if they promise something and I kind of feel apprehensive about it, like this might smell a little bit fishy, pray about it. Give it to God and then let it go and stop worrying about it. So I hope this kind of helps give us a little bit of an insight into how we should approach different relationships and, you know, friendships and things like that. Don't be jaded. Don't go through life and live life in some sort of jaded fashion, jaded platform and, you know, mindset. Don't be toxic like that. Be a healthy version, a healthy person that people want to be around, that you want to be around. If you look at yourself in the mirror, are you the kind of person that would want to hang out with you? Thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends, you know, and, you know, see if either they share the same viewpoint. If they share something different, maybe this kind of gives them a different perspective, a different avenue, a different way of looking at things. So thank you guys again for tuning in every single week, and until next week, you guys stay safe out there. God bless.